Hello viewers, welcome to Daily Politics. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I am Hamza Idris. It is now 1 week to the APC primary election for the November 11 Kogi governorship off-cycle election. So far, 18 aspirants screened ahead of the primaries scheduled to hold on the 14th of April. Some prominent contenders are Kogi State Deputy Governor David Edward Onoja, Senator representing Kogi West, Senatorial District Smart Adeyemi, Chief of Staff to the Governor Abdul Karim Jamiu Asuku, and House of Representatives member James Abiodun Feleke, who later withdrew from the race. On the program tonight, we will be speaking with Senator Smart Adeyemi, one of the lead contenders in the governorship race. He will be sharing his plans, chances, as well as his thoughts on other national issues. Welcome to the program, distinguished.
It's my pleasure being with you.
We're happy having you in our studio.
Thank you for inviting me here. I'm honored.
Yes, viewers, we will go on a quick break now, and when we return, the conversation commences. Stay with us.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back, distinguished Senator. I'm compelled to start with this issue of subsidy. Don't you think your government, the APC government, is actually running against time, doing something 3-4 weeks to the end of the tenure? I'm talking about the palliative thing. $800 million. The Minister of Finance said that they are going to share this to Nigerians as palliative and then remove the subsidy.
Well, let me begin by saying that in government, there's nothing too late. There's no program, policies that is too late to implement. What we should be talking about is that, what is the sincerity of it? Because government is a continual process. You know, when the government is leaving, there's no vacuum created. So when a policy is put in place, and that policy is for the well-being of the people, no matter how short the period is, you have commenced a process. So whoever is coming after you is to continue the good process or the good project or program that you have put in place. So I don't think it's late. Not to do it at all may equally be more damaging to the society, to the people, than commencing and not finishing. Because when you commence, somebody will come in and inherit from where you have stopped and continue, as long as there's a good intention. And I want to believe that there's a good intention towards it.
But how good is this intention? For 8 years, the foundation, the basic things, simple refineries, the Buhari-led administration could not actually bring them up. Now that it's like putting something on nothing, according to many Nigerians, because the whole 800 million now announced, even though they say it is the first tranche, right? If you share it to the vulnerable, the 10 million, so is it 10 million or 100 million vulnerable, they're getting to 2,000 naira.
I want to believe that. I think the Buhari administration, when it came into office,
yes,
it probably didn't quite appreciate the enormous level of corruption. And when I say corruption, in relation to the oil sector, it was something that had been institutionalized. And when a corrupt system is institutionalized, it takes a lot of time before you can get it uprooted. Because you now have a government operating, a shadow government, so to speak, to yours. And no matter how good you are, you discover that they have penetrated you. And some of them may be even within the party structure, within the government itself. So it's like a cancer.
Oh God.
Okay, it's only God that can make it to survive it. You can go for a surgery, you can get it removed. That could be divine intervention, or somehow you just have a solution to it. So when you have a kind of an institutionalized, high-level, entrenched corruption, it's not something you can do overnight. But having said that, I agree with you that it took this government a while. But again, when you look at some of the uncountable numbers of problems that Buhari government inherited, don't forget that in this government, 2 years of it, we're battling the COVID. Don't forget too that when Buhari came on board, this is not to defend what you have said, but we must appreciate the fact that he was fighting so many battles. The battles of the Niger Delta, the oil sector, of those who are equally running their own system, government within government sector. Then don't forget we had the problem of the insurgency in the Northeast. So you have multiple problems confronting this administration. Don't forget too that when Buhari administration came, the oil sector almost collapsed. The crude oil was selling at $5 per barrel. So there's so many problems Buhari government inherited. Okay, that the government didn't collapse is still something that at times I find difficult to understand how we survive.
But you know that he too, he slept for many months, almost 6 months to have the cabinet. This is one. Yeah. And then secondly, I think he also boxed himself to a corner because while campaigning, he said, what is subsidy? I don't believe in subsidy. Don't you think these are two factors that also affected his proactive measure to address the rot in the oil sector?
You know when he left office as a military president, he still came back with some of his thinking of how Nigeria was at that time.
83, 84.
Yes. So, but when he came in, he saw a different Nigeria that has degenerated beyond his imagination. That's what happened. He underrated it. And in the military, they operate a command system. But in the civil administration, you can't do that. So he was thinking and speaking from his background as a military man. Okay, and when he was head of state as a military man, was quite different from when he came on board. When he came as a civilian administration, he saw a different environment, he saw a different country and different system from the command structure. Hey, do this, do this. When he came, he saw a lot of legal implications of some of his policies that he wanted to do. And they told him the consequences of this, the consequences of this. So these are some of the problems the man inherited. But I want to believe that it is good to commence a system that will sanitize a corrupt and institutionalized corruption than for him to just pass through it and do nothing.
Okay, finally on the subsidy. Some are saying, as I said earlier, that why not just leave everything since you, the senators, and I mean the National Assembly in general, you have made provision up till June, right? So instead of removing, because the argument is that once they remove the subsidy now, people will start buying fuel from 500 upwards, which will have ripple effect on almost everything, which will also be like a landmine for the incoming administration. Do you share this school of thought, or you have a different thinking about removing this and allowing the fuel price to just go up?
I believe that there's a need to put in more cushioning measures. We need to put in more palliatives. And this palliative must be palliative that will actually touch on the life of the people.
Not the 2,000.
Not 2,000. We can put some policies in place that will reduce the pains and the stress that the average Nigerian is passing through. We can reduce it in such a manner that the pressure on the families will be reduced. And consequently, they wouldn't feel the pain of the oil removal of oil subsidy. I believe that if you look at it, if you weigh it, those who are benefiting from the oil subsidy, they are not the common man on the street.
But how do you mean distinguish?
See, there are people who are entrenched in this cartel.
Yes.
Okay, where oil that are not even imported are paid for. They recycle what is brought into the country, and we are paying twice for what we have not consumed. And don't forget too that the percentage, a good percentage of what we import as oil subsidy goes to other African countries.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are some of the problems. We need to police our borders. There was a time in the Senate I advocated that we should commence constructing walls around the Nigeria border.
Like the Trumps.
Yes, and somebody said, "Are you crazy? Why are you talking this way?" To me, as advocated, it will reduce smuggling. All form of smuggling will be reduced drastically. We're going to use it to create jobs and we'll be more secure. But Nigeria don't see that way. For me,
okay, you still are you serious when you talk about building the walls?
I'm very, very serious. I'm very serious. No matter how long it's going to take us, you create job opportunity for people. There'll be more money in circulation, and you will reduce insecurity.
But don't you think, assuming we get it right in Nigeria, maybe we have like 20 functional refineries, we will only annex the countries around us to be like they are like states. Let's say Kogi, Kaduna, and all that. They're extension of Nigeria.
Yes, I believe that there are other measures that could be taken apart from constructing walls around the country.
Yeah.
But I equally hold the view that how sincere are we when you talk about policies and programs that will help to improve the well-being of Nigerians?
Yeah.
How many Nigerians who are in power are committed to the well-being of the people? Some people see coming to office as a way of enriching themselves, some as a way of making money. Some people came into politics just so that their name can be heard. But there are those who came who want to leave legacies, like the nationalists did. When you talk about nationalists in Nigeria, you talk about people like Sardauna, the Premier of Northern Region, you talk about Obafemi Awolowo, you talk about Aminu Kanu, you talk about
Azikiwe, Joseph Taka.
All these people, they left legacies. So it's not all those who you see in politics had that mentor, that had that at the back of their mind. People came into politics to make money. I always tell my colleagues in the sense that I'm not a politician, because I don't speak like a politician. I'm a journalist in politics, practicing politics. That doesn't make me a politician, because my psyche, my training as a journalist
is different.
It's different because my profession, journalism, teaches me that I have a dual responsibility. My professional responsibility and my social responsibility. And when I combine the two, I see that there's no difference between a politician who is committed to the well-being of the people and a journalist who is practicing journalism profession. Because we all work toward the same goal: expose corruption, fight for the common man, fight for the well-being of your country, report what is true, expose what is not true. So, and each time I spoke in the Senate, I had this thing at the back of my mind, that am I living up to the expectation of my calling, not as a politician, as a journalist first and foremost. And that probably defined some of my presentations in the Senate. Okay? And I want to believe too that if we have more and more people who are committed in the service of the people, Nigeria will be better for it. Now, when you look at the issue of oil sector, who are the beneficiaries? Not the common man on the street. Those who take the billions and kept the money in foreign accounts, they are there. Some of them kept them in foreign currency in Nigeria here.
It's actually a very problematic area, but despite all this, and I want us to actually go to other issues, but the poor man on the street, you know, the taxi fare he pays, paying school fees and all that, they will all skyrocket. And this is the perspective here that we look at the fuel subsidy. But away from that, of course, you are rounding up your tenure in the Senate. Before we go to Kogi, which I will link up with your thinking of the wall to take care of Nigeria. What is your take on the leadership tussle? I mean, the struggle for new leadership in the National Assembly, even though you are not going back there in the interim.
Well, the unfortunate thing about that we are going to witness in the 10th Senate is that a very huge percentage of those who are coming are newcomers. They are new first-time legislators. And I can tell you that I recall when the former one-time Senate President David Mark was talking, he said, when you are 2 terms in the Senate,
Yes.
He said it is then you get to start understanding certain things about.
So the first 4 years is tutelage.
No, the first 4 years you think.
I mean, yeah, 4.
There was an incident.
It's a learning stage.
There was an incident of a colleague of ours who was about to do something in the Senate. You know, part of his responsibility. So I was correcting him. He felt no, because he's a 2-term senator. So he assumed he knew more than I do. But at the end of the day, he came to me and said, "I'm sorry." I said, you know, you are just you are running your 2-term. I'm running my 2-term. So that's the advantage I have over you. So there are many things that you would think you know in the Senate or in the National Assembly until when you have 5 years, 6 years, before you start understanding it. It's a different world environment. But when you look at it as something very simple. You make so many mistakes. There are many things you will not know until after some years. But having said this, I still believe that there are still highly experienced people who are left behind in the House, in the Senate, who can still run the National Assembly well. There's still quite a number of them. It's just that if time is not taken, you may have a situation where if the newcomers decide to vote against the old timers, then what can you do? Because it's a game of numbers. Okay, so if they look at it from the angle of, except the party comes out to say, this is what we want. And the party is somehow laid back of sorts? I don't know. Well, because I think if you look at the number of people now seeking for Senate presidency and then Speaker, about 16, we did a story in the paper 2 days ago that so far 16, and I think the number has also swelled between day before yesterday and today. Can you speak on the competence of some of them and, you know, whether beyond competence there should be other variables in determining who becomes the Senate president? We have Barrow, we have Indume, we have Oji Uzekalu, and all that. I will tell you that all of them who have shown interest in the Senate are people that I know they are competent. Not because I've worked with them or playing politics with it. No. It's because I've looked at them and the level of their participation. Okay. And I do know too that they are determined and they are experiencing now. That some of them, I wouldn't want to be specific, but there are quite. I was actually going to ask you who is the best among them. No. That would be undemocratic. It's a free campaign. I'm allowing you to do. No, I'm not going to campaign for any of them because they're all my colleagues. You know, so they're all my colleagues. But who is the best among them? It's difficult to know who is the best because when you are a Senate president, it's a different ball game. Yes, when you're on the seat as the Senate president, it's a different ball game. The Senate president is like when an authority. No, where he is, but let me just tell you this. Okay. It's like when a python swallows a prey. When a python swallows the prey, the python becomes weaker the more. Oh my God. And with a blade, you can kill the python once it swallows a prey. I hope you know that. Yes. It can't move any longer. It is there, it can intimidate you from a distance, but you can go ahead to kill the elephant. Yes. Now, when you have a Senate president or a speaker, the power now rests with the people. So there's an extent to which you can go, except it's a man who understood the game of politics. Apart from the intellect, the capacity, he must understand the game of politics, and in understanding the game of politics, at this level, you must be someone who is well abreast with the norms and values of Nigeria. You must know those who are before you, where they are coming from, what they stand for. You must know their background. So if you have someone who doesn't know beyond his local environment, and who came to the National Assembly, and you let him, well, your thinking is as good as mine of what he can do. So you need someone who is cerebral on one hand, who is an intelligencer, but more importantly, who is a Nigerian. When I say who is a Nigerian, a man who knows every part of this country very well. Today in Nigeria, you have leaders who speak ignorantly because they just see Nigeria from their local environment. And how did we descend so low to that level? So why? How? Well, I think it's a gradual process of development that we're progressing through, especially democracy itself. Because Nigerians now are getting to understand that it is not the party that matters, it is the character that matters. Anybody can contest election on any platform and get away with whatever. But one matter is you look at the content of the man. This man, who is he? Where is he coming from? Let us get to know how his thinkings are. How is your understanding of Nigeria? Many Nigerians don't know this country. Even some leaders, when they speak, you see ignorance. They don't know this country. They look at Nigeria from their local environment, from their state, from their zone. They think that's Nigeria.
Okay, now those who are aspiring to lead the Senate and the House of Reps, some for some reasons best known to them, they are saying this issue of zoning, religion, and other factors should not be keyed into the process. Do you think they are sounding nationalistic or they are just self-centered?
Well, you know, when the politician is speaking, you must look at him very well. He must be speaking to his own advantage.
Aha.
He may be speaking because of his own advantage or because of certain interests he represents. But having said so, I want to believe that religion is an issue in Nigeria, maybe because of the way we see ourselves. But you know, when people want to embezzle money, both Christian and Muslim, they forget their religion. They
Even in the National Assembly?
Everywhere. People don't talk about religion when they are perpetuating evil. When people want to steal money, do they say you are a Muslim or Christian?
No.
No, the religion becomes the money. So everybody now becomes the one religion, the religion to steal.
So you think if it is competence, anybody can lead?
If you talk about competence, yes, but again, you have competent people everywhere. But what to me matters is not just talking about religion and competence as such. It's about the man knowing the nation that is going to preside over. You must know that we're diverse people on one hand. And you must be a man with a large heart. You must not be sentimental. You must not be someone. You see, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, what matters is, do you see the fellow person as God's creation? Do you see him that you have a responsibility to ensure the well-being of your neighbor because he's a Christian or he's a Muslim? It's not the issue. God created the person.
Because some people, I know the other time when we had you here, of course you spoke eloquently on doing things the right way. But some people are still there, fully agreed with your party for having Muslim ticket. And now some people are moving to have also a Muslim Senate president or maybe a Muslim speaker and all that. What is your take on this? Before we move on to...
There is no position today that Christian and Muslim have not occupied in time past. Buhari is a Muslim.
Yes.
Is he a Christian?
No, he is a Muslim.
So how many Christians have Buhari converted to Islam? How many Christians had Buhari forced to be a Muslim or converted? Has Buhari gone to preach to any Christian to convert?
Not at all.
So to me, I don't see any reason why anybody should be skeptical or be afraid of... Ashwaju is a Christian, is a Muslim, but the wife is a Christian. Some of his children are Christian. He said when he's going to bed, his Quran is on one side.
The Bible.
The Bible of the wife is on the other side. so what's the issue? Shetima rebuilt over 36 churches. The Christian told me in Maiduguri that some of the churches that were pulled down, that was Shetima who rebuilt them. And that every Christmas and New Year, Shetima sent gifts and sent Christians to Jerusalem. Shetima.
So what are we talking about?
So for me, religion is a thing of the heart. For me, I don't want to hear you come and tell me segment of religion, because I've seen very fantastic Muslims. I've seen Muslims that made me to admire Islam. I've seen Muslims that have behaved. I say, is this one
a Christian?
No, is it a pagan?
Okay.
I mean, we are Muslim who are behaved. Then I see some Christians who have made me to be proud that I'm a Christian. I've seen some Christians who made me to be ashamed that Christian behave this way. So in essence, there are good Christians, there are good Muslims. Religion to me is not by what you claim, it's what you do, what you perform, your conduct. Okay? Do you see the next man as your brother? It pleases God to create Christian and to allow Muslim to exist. So it is not for you to want to fight anybody because of his religion. It's madness, because nobody is sure of who will see God. Okay? And I've seen situations where people who are buried over the years and they had cause to exhume them and they were not rotting.
Yeah.
I've seen a Catholic woman who was buried for about 30 years, some years back. They exhumed it because of road construction. Nothing touched her clothes. I've seen an imam whose body was exhumed and it didn't decay.
Wow.
So who can judge? It's only God who knows who is worshiping him. There are Christians who fast more than 100 days in a year. There are Christians who don't fast for a day in a year. There are Muslims who are observing Ramadan. There are Muslims today who have eaten 3 times, but they will tell you they're fasting. So it is God who knows who is worshiping him.
Yeah.
Nobody can say this is the righteous man. On that basis, you want to deal with him because he's a Christian. He may be a devil incarnate, but we tell you he's a Christian. You can see a Muslim that says, this Malam. The Malam may be a devil incarnate. So you don't judge people by what they even claim they are doing, they profess. What you can look for is, how is this the conduct of this man? How does he relate with his neighbor? How does he relate with other people? I am a Christian. I've sponsored not less than 300 Muslims to Mecca.
Wow.
So that doesn't change me for my faith.
Excellent.
But these are my followers in politics, and I owe them the responsibility of assisting them to be better in their religion.
Thank you very much. Yeah. We'll go on a break, distinguished Senator, and when we return, we talk about your ambition in Kogi. Yeah, viewers, please don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. I still have Senator Smart Ademi in the studio, multiple times Senator.
Yes.
But it's like you are migrating to Kogi now.
Yes.
To serve as governor. But it's like the scene is crowded. 18 contenders. Are you not intimidated?
18, yes, I am not in any way. Because more than ever before today, Nigerians, they don't look at your party, they look at the person they are voting for. Okay. And they ask questions about your personality, your identity, your track record, and what you are professing, and what people say about you. In politics, understanding an individual, a contestant, as far as the electorate are concerned, there are 3 factors they now consider.
The electorate?
The electorate.
Okay.
They consider the antecedents of the person who said they should vote for him. Apart from that, they consider what other people are saying about that candidate. The next thing is they consider what the man is saying, what he's professing. 3 factors now determine who wins election in Nigeria.
And you think you have this?
Well, I've been around for a while, and leadership is a process. It's a process because you have to graduate. And if you don't pass through the process, you are bound to misbehave, you are bound to crash, and you are bound to mislead people, and you are bound to be an obstacle to the peace, stability, and progress of the people. So people are mindful of who they are voting for, not on the basis of party. Having said that, I've challenged all those who are in the race to meet me on the live televisions.
Are you proposing to us now to organize like a debate for you?
Please can do it. I challenge them. I've said it times without number. I want all
I'm
of
sure our leaders are watching.
I want all of them to come here.
Okay.
And let them tell me, because you see, among these people, there are about 8 or 9 of them who are members of the present cabinet of Yahya Dozabelu.
Yes, the deputy governor, his chief of staff, accountant general,
auditor general of the state, of the local government, the commissioner of finance, all of them. Now,
is it that he asked them to go for it? Because I have a story.
Well,
anyway, I'll not say it here.
I wouldn't know, but I just know that they cannot have the audacity of contesting without having the permission to do so. Okay, I wouldn't want to go into how the question how some people got money to buy form of 50 million. If you are just 3.5 years in service and as a commissioner, you know, all those are not my business. But what I want to tell you is that the governor and I have no problem with him.
How do you mean? But you know you have problem with him.
He's my leader. He's my governor.
Okay.
I was the DG of this campaign for him to come back second term. If I'm not of any electoral value, they wouldn't ask me to be the DG. And he too, on his part, he supported my coming back for third term. Maybe without him, I wouldn't be back as a third term, maybe. But
to the Senate.
To the Senate. So I give him the credit. And I've continued, and I'll continue to give him my respect and to give my honor. You know, having said that, I'm contesting because I'm not in that, I'm competent, and I'm better than all of them.
How do you mean?
Because of my exposure, because of my education.
Being in the Senate 3 times?
Far more than that. I'm the first in Kogi State to be in the Senate 3 times. I'm the first in Kogi State, in my central district, to be in the Senate 3 times. Okay? So, Kogi is a complex state, and Kogi is a state where we don't have illiterates in Kogi. Everybody is educated. When you talk about politics, everybody is a professor of politics in Kogi.
Like you have 18 crowded.
Yes, but I will tell you this, that I probably have more exposure than probably all of them. I am a journalist. I was a union leader. I was NUJ national president. I was NUJ national vice president. I was NUJ state chairman. I travel around the globe. I've been to over 30 countries of the world. I've seen structural development. I've seen human development. I've seen what it takes to develop a people. I've seen what it takes to galvanize socio-economic development. I've seen what it takes to promote industrialization. I've seen what it takes to empower the people. I'm exposed. I'm educated.
But I was scared earlier when you mentioned building walls. I said, maybe this is what you will take to Kogi also?
No. Okay. If I get there as a governor, I will ensure the speedy acceleration and development and production, revamping of Ajakuta iron and steel. Kogi today, in case you don't know, we have not less than 27 solid minerals that of commercial value, commercial quantity in Kogi State. 27, not 10, 27. We have the River Niger. Okay, I'm going to put up an international conference center in Lokoja. I'm going to get big ferries that I will make sure we have a bridge across from Ida to Agenebo there. We'll open our state. I will make sure the Ajakuta state complex, their airstrip is utilized to the advantage of my state.
But isn't that you didn't solve these ideas to Bello when you supported him, or other governors? Because I know you supported other governors, even Wada and all that.
There's a limit to my involvement in my state government.
Okay.
I am a senator.
Yeah.
My job is to defend the need and the aspiration of those who have elected me in Abuja. My job is to see to the peace, stability, prosperity of Nigeria. My job is to expose deficiencies at the federal level, not to expose deficiency in my state. No, I am a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm not a senator of Kogi State. Once you are elected, you are now a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So there's a limit to my involvement in state government affairs. There's a limit. But if you come to Abuja here, I am one of the senators with the highest number of bills passed. Just last week, President Muhammadu Buhari assented to a bill which I sponsored for the establishment of Federal University Teaching Hospital, Lokoja, approved. The medical doctors came to my house, the association, to thank me that not less than 900 staff will be recruited. That is something. Okay, that is my job. So my job is not to ask how you govern. No. So I will ensure payment of salaries. I will ensure the retirees are paid. I will ensure that there's justice, fairness, and equity. But more importantly is the fact that I represent a senatorial district called Kogi West.
Yes.
In the last 32 years of Kogi State, we have never been produced a governor.
Yes, I have that here, and that is why I'm even worried to say that what are your chances?
My chances?
Yes, coming from Kogi West, that has never produced.
We have never, but I will tell you why the argument of the past. The argument is that, Kogi West, they don't have population. So when we had all the elections we have had, we are always the whipping Central District because of human manipulation. But thank God for the Nigerian called Nwafo, who invented the beavers that was used. After the election, when we met in the Senate, all of us said, beaver, now wow, because the beaver didn't allow manipulation.
For the other zones
the true strength of every state and Central District and entities became obvious. What happened in Kogi? My Central District came second. We led Central with about 22,000 votes.
Wow.
So,
Central, that is where the governor...
Yes, we are now second. And we didn't mobilize them. You know why? Because we didn't have the resources to mobilize them. Nobody was giving money because
the voters you're talking about.
The voters had to...
Find their way.
Those who want to vote, some of them were disenchanted, but we still led by over 22,000 votes. What is the implication of that? There's no Central District that can determine who becomes a governor without one other Central District supporting.
Are you saying this with all sense of responsibility? Because I had that, the Kogi East that has the Igala as the majority.
Well, how would they be majority when the last election they had 107,000 votes?
And you had
we had 78,000.
Wow.
The other the governor central, they have 55,000. For APC, that's the highest vote. If you put them cumulatively together, Central had about 98,000 to 100,000. West had about 130,000. Central, East,
they
had about 189,000.
They are still leading.
But they don't constitute 50%.
So they need alignment.
Every Central District need another alignment. So wherever you pick your deputy, you are likely to have it. But let me tell you this. The Kogi West leaders have met. The women have met. The professionals have met from Kogi West. That none of us will vote for any candidate that's not from the West. We are not slaves. We have not conquered.
Is this an arrangement and you have all made a commitment?
This is our resolution as a people. For 32 years, we have not produced a governor. Are we slaves? Are we conquered? When Sardauna was Premier of Northern Region, Sardauna was able to govern the whole of the North peacefully because of one principle which Sardauna implanted in the heart of every Northerner today. That is the sense of fairness.
And you are looking for that?
That explains why Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima had their way. If the North had said they were feeding a candidate in the APC and they didn't zone it to the South, probably my governor would have become would have emerged as the presidential candidate of APC.
Will you be happy?
If he had emerged, it's the governor of my state. Why wouldn't I be happy? Well, he lost. Even the vote, the delegates from Kogi didn't. Many of them, we didn't know what happened.
Is that a sign of poor outing on his side?
Well, that is for you, the historians, political historians, to go into. But what I want you to know is the fact that gone by the days when you will say that Kogi West, it's not true. The beaver has exposed a lot of things. And I have just advocated in the interview I granted not quite an hour ago, that the guy who invented beavers should be given a National Merit Award. Because it opened our eyes, we can see the deficiency, the deceits over the years.
Based on my understanding of Kogi politics, if, for instance, there are many now that we had, Bello is working towards giving the ticket from Central, that is where he hails from. Now, assuming he picks a strong person from Kogi East as deputy to his preferred candidate, what will you do?
You know, when we get to the river, we put up the engineering work to cross the river. We have not gotten to that. And there are people, even in the East, who are saying that for fairness. See, there cannot be peace, there cannot be stability in any political entity where there's no fairness. Why was it that Sardauna was able to. Why were we were brought
You're
up
always
with
passionate about Sardauna.
Yeah, because we grew up with. I grew up as one of the Northerners who had the good deeds of Sardauna at a very early age. Sardauna was free, was just and fair, and in my central district, one of our founding fathers, one of our leaders, Awoni, was principal private secretary of Sardauna. He told me a lot of stories about Sardauna. The Bible that Baba Awoni used till he died, Sardauna bought it for him. But Sardauna was a Muslim. If there's any reason why Yaya will not support me, it's not going to be because I'm not competent.
Okay.
It could be other sentiments.
Yes, and that is why I'm going there,
Yeah.
that he didn't support you to come back to the Senate.
Yes.
Now you are in the same party with him.
Yes.
How sure are you that you are going to get it for the governorship? Because you need his support, right?
I didn't offend him. I didn't betray his trust.
But why did he deny you the ticket?
Well, I think some people wanted him to take that. Some people persuaded him not to support me on the basis of the fear that I will run for governorship. And these are a good number of them who are now running, contesting. About 7 members of his cabinet have bought the forms. And the idea was, if they don't do it, Smart will have the ticket. Not because I will not perform well. And you see, I think I will use your medium to tell my governor that there's no good leadership when there's no good successor. A great leader will look for somebody who will improve upon what you have done.
And you think you are the one?
Not somebody who will diminish what you are achieving, but somebody who will improve upon that. And that explains why Asiwaju is a powerful man. Asiwaju laid the foundation for Lagos to excel. And after Asiwaju left, they continue to build on that foundation. I'm a visionary person. And I'm highly enterprising. I'm knowledgeable. I have courage. I have vision. I'm educated. I'm exposed. Okay? And nobody's in doubt. And I'm passionate about the well-being of people.
So how can you make it without his support? Because obviously, looking at the people around him now, the body language is really not favorably
to Smart.
Yeah. I may be wrong.
Well, yeah, I don't have an evidence to prove that, but
I may be wrong.
Let me just tell you this, that it will be at the peril of the party not to feed the candidate from Kogi West. And we are just 3 contesting from Kogi West.
Okay, yeah.
Myself, the Commissioner of Finance,
yes,
and 1 businessman in Lagos. I have not even met him. I saw him on the day of screening alone. So we have never met him at all. Now, so by extension, we are just 2 who are practical politicians.
From Kogi West.
From Kogi West. But you see, it will be a moral burden for the Commissioner of Finance to say he should take over from the governor. I won't go into that.
But how do you mean? Because some governors now anoint their deputies to take over.
Well, you know, politics is a game of number. And where we come from, we know people who can win votes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And other issues is left for individuals to interpret. But what I would tell you is that people are getting educated the more about politics. It's not the party. And now that the beaver has made it easier, people will vote according to their conscience. You can't compel people to vote for somebody they don't want to believe or they don't believe in it. Since I started the campaign that is the turn for Kogi West, I've received more support across.
You mean it is resonating with all, even voters from Central and East?
Across. When I say across, there are people with conscience. How can we be in a state for 32 years and we are not allowed to produce a governor? And you want us to say we are part of that state? Doesn't make sense. All over the world is governed by fairness. Why was it impossible for Russia to overrun Ukraine within 1 month? They say, oh, Ukraine, Russia will overrun Ukraine in 1 month.
Now,
in the present world, the world is governed by fairness. You can't do it. What you can't do to other people, don't expect them to do to you. So the world is listening to me. We are part of and parcel of Kogi State. We supported Yaya Doza Bello. In fact, he won his 2nd time with the support of Kogi West.
Yeah, because you also led the...
At that time, Kogi East had one of their own who contested on the platform of PDP. We didn't feed the candidates. So we supported him with the understanding that Yaya will hand over. And I'm not in that we're still going to do that because in politics, 24 hours is still a long time. So I have my respect for him.
But have you reached out to him before you bought your phone?
Of course I told Yaya Bello, and he said, if you're interested, go ahead. I have no problem with him. I've not been I'm not in his bad book as far as I'm concerned. When I was denied the primary election, people thought I would leave the party. And many people who left party, the
but you remain.
They left because they were shortchanged. But you see, to me, politics must be synonymous with integrity. Okay? I don't want to hear they say politics, there's no integrity, there's no morality. No, not for people like us. We didn't come to politics because we are hungry. We came because we want to make a difference. And because we want to make a difference, we're going to ensure that integrity, honor is embedded in my politics.
What is your minimum expectation from Yahya Bello? Your minimum expectation in this contest?
Let me say to Governor Yahya Bello, I want you to be the Sardauna of Kogi State, who will look at people dispassionately, not on the basis of tribe or sentiment or religion. If there's anything that will make Yahya Bello not to support me, the only thing I can guess, which I don't think he will do, because Yahya built a church in Government House. He's the first governor. We have never had a Christian as a governor of Kogi State before. I have sent not less than 300 Muslims to Mecca.
Because, you said it earlier.
Because in every family in Kogi, you have Christian and Muslim. Most families.
So you want him and you to work together?
So I see no any other reason that he will not support me. If you want competence, if you want somebody who will improve upon what he has done, if you want somebody who will elevate the state to a higher level, if you want somebody who will make him to be proud that he left a good legacy.
And finally,
I am the person.
Thank you very much. That's Senator Smart Adeyemi. We thank you very much for coming to the program and for telling the people of Kogi and Nigerians at large what you stand to give them if they give you the opportunity to become the governor of Kogi. So thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure being here.
And viewers, that's a wrap on today's edition. Do well and join us again for another interesting package. Bye-bye. I'm Hamza Idris.